I first want to just thank a whole bunch of people. I want to thank Senate District 50. Bloomington and Edina are truly amazing, amazing places to live. I have felt so nurtured and so cared for by these communities. And during the ICE invasion into these communities, to see the amount of caring and love and the way that these communities encircled our most vulnerable neighbors and protected each other, I've never seen anything like it. I feel very privileged to be a part of those communities, and I am absolutely honored to have represented them at the state capitol. So thank you, first and foremost, to the people. I want to thank my family, my mom and dad, always in my corner, my kids who miss their mom, and my husband for the hours of unpaid labor he did so that I could be here working for the people. The only reason that I can do this successfully is because of his partnership. I want to thank the people who work here, both partisan, nonpartisan staff, the people who stay up all night, the people writing and vetting language, the people making sure this place runs, the people keeping us safe, all so that we could have a functioning government with laws that make sense. You all have extraordinarily difficult jobs, and I am just in awe of you every single day, truly. Thank you. A very special thanks to Tay and to Maggie, without whom our office would have accomplished nothing in the last 4 years. Your friendship and your guidance, keeping me in line, keeping me in time, has meant the world to me. To my colleagues, thank you. Thank you for fighting the good fight. You have been great partners and great friends, and I feel comfortable leaving because I know that you will be here to continue to protect Minnesotans. And lastly, a very big thanks to the advocates, the staff, the legislators who came before me and in the other body, and to the people of Minnesota who worked for, testified, set up tents at events, educated other people so that we could ban non-compete clauses, implement wage transparency, get breast cancer screenings covered, keep our babies from being thrown in seclusion rooms while in school, get health insurance to more kids, rein in nefarious practices of pharmacy benefit managers, get foreign physicians into the workforce, establish the Minnesota Medication Repository Program so people could get medications they otherwise could not afford, and all of the work done so that we could have paid leave. You have all reshaped the economic floor of this state through an equity lens while realizing the humanity of other people. You know, some men want to leave a legacy by building golden statues of themselves. Our legacy, we gave people of Minnesota financial stability during the most vulnerable times in their lives. And I hope you all know that. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart and the years of work that it took to get here. And if any of you touch paid leave, I will come back. I really did struggle with what I was going to say otherwise today when I left the legislature in 2020 without plans of returning. I said all that I wanted to say. And after doing that on the floor of the other body, I had a lot of hate mail after I said what I said, including letters from my own colleagues who said that I disrespected the office. And I was asked to apologize. So today, I want to say that I said what I said. I talked about racism and sexism in the legislature, and those things are very much still part of the culture here these years later. And I would unfortunately say even more in the Senate than in the House now that I've had the honor of serving in both bodies. Calling out injustices, whether you're on the street, whether in your workplace, is only disrespectful to the people who benefit from those injustices. And so I want you to think about that later tonight when you're crafting me an email. I do want to dovetail a little bit on those thoughts, and I want to talk about freedom today because that's what we're here for. We're here to protect people's freedoms. Sadly, the freedoms of women and of people of color, although always a bit tenuous, have eroded exponentially in the last 2 years. So much so that we should all be talking about that all the time. And we're just kind of going on about business as usual, which I think is insane. The freedom to choose when to have a family, the freedom to walk around without your passport in your back pocket, the freedom to go to school or to the doctor without being afraid. Those freedoms are gone for many people. They're just gone. And it's been said that our freedoms follow along with democracy. I disagree. The freedoms specifically of women and of people of color do not follow along with democracy. They are a measure of democracy. And we are seeing our democracy being eroded right in front of our eyes, deliberately, so that a small group of billionaire oligarchs can stay in power while some elected officials do their dirty work and continue pushing forward their white, Christian, nationalist, patriarchal ideology where women and people of color are treated as second-class citizens. And you get to have your stratification of human worth written into law. In the last 2 years, the federal administration has fired women from positions of power. They have systematically cut people's access to health care, to affordable housing, to education, and to food. In Minnesota, this body cut people's access to food and to health care just yesterday. And perhaps most importantly, they are taking away your voice. The SAVE Act will take away the voting rights of women. The destruction of the Voting Rights Act will take away and is taking away the voting rights of people of color right now. And the incredible gerrymandering occurring in Louisiana, Tennessee, Utah, Georgia will all work in tandem to make sure that we are headed towards a conservative one-party state. And to be sure, this is a very well-crafted, long-term plan. The gerrymandering started within days of the Supreme Court decision to turn our clock back to Jim Crow. Louisiana, Georgia, Tennessee had new gerrymandered maps ready to go specifically to eliminate majority black districts within days. This is the destruction of our democracy in real time. And in turn, a small group of white men will take away all of our freedoms and our rights while expanding their own. And while this is happening, let's also just put a pin on the fact that we are the only species on the planet that has to deliberate whether or not to preserve the planet that our species needs to survive. But we can talk about that another day. So for those of you who think that your vote does not matter, if it didn't matter, they wouldn't be turning over every stone to take yours away from you. To the people on the wrong side of history, this has always been the wrong side of history. There has never in our human history been a time when a group comes in to take away somebody else's right and they're in the right. Never. This time is not going to be different, and it's okay to change your minds. And for the handful of people who are listening today, I beg you to get involved, because sitting on the sidelines and hoping someone else is going to do the work for us is no longer an option, and no one is coming to save us except for us. Politics is not a luxury that we can afford to choose whether or not we engage in. Our freedom is on the line. So ask yourself every morning when you wake up, do you want your freedom as much as the new Confederacy wants to take it away from you? I hope you do. Thank you, Mr. President.